more beautiful homes on top of the hill. This is Hague, the community of Hague. Community of Hague. Look at that beautiful home right there. Some of them are now being used as income. They use them as Airbnb, but that's just a small percentage. The majority of those homes are, like I say, people's personal dwelling. And of course, some of them are as well, the owners only occupy them part-time, because a lot of the owners are overseas, either in England or America, Australia, Canada, you name it, all over Europe and Asia, North America, even South America, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, you name it. Because that's what a lot of Jamaican does. They go out, they work overseas, work very hard, and then they come back and they build up their homes. And a lot of them use it as retirement homes, so they retire when they're much older. Clarkstown to the right. Clarkstown to the right. But they use it when they're much older because the weather is beautiful out here compared to the cold weather in some of these other countries, like up in North America or in Europe or over there in Asia, you know. Well, some of Asia, not all of it, because, you know, parts of Asia are very warm, for instance, you know. But yeah, you get a drift. But yeah, I'm here in Falmouth. Falmouth is the capital of Trelawney. See the ocean over there again. So now we're in another parish. In Jamaica, there are 14 parishes. And I've just left out of St. James, which is the northern parish. It's not the most easterly parish, but it's the most, or I should say westerly parish, but it's the most northern, because if you go further west, you would find Anova. So you have Anova, then St. James, where Montego Bay is, where the airport is, and then you have Trelawney, where I'm at right now, and then Falmouth is the capital city, or the capital of Trelawney. Next you have St. Anne, then St. Mary, and then there is Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and then Westmoreland. So I just give you the parishes starting from the west at the top, going towards the east and around, coming back to end up in the west with Westmoreland. But that's how it is. 14 parishes of Jamaica. Most of Jamaica is rural. It's just Kingston City. There is Mandeville Town. There is Ocho Rios. There is Montego Bay. And that, for the most part, those are that's Royalton Hideaway Hotel. For the most part, those are the city areas. Most of it is just rural areas. You know, you have other little places like Santa Cruz or Black River and St. Elizabeth, but these are like tiny little communities. Wow, look on the hill again. See what I'm telling you about these gigantic monstrosities? Look at them. Wow. Look at that over there. something to see, something to behold. They're just humongous, huge. So I'm actually heading towards the east. I'm coming from the northwest, if you may, from Montego Bay. It's known as the North Coast. It's the North Coast, but yes, but it's also at the western end of the island. And I'm going towards the east, or towards the southeast, that is. Down through St. Anne and then down into St. Catherine. Ocean Coral Spring and Eden Bay. They have two gigantic hotels out on the beach. Rubis gas station. See, we got some cows on the side of the road. These cows have been a hazard lately because they've been walking out into the streets, and quite a few people have collided. We even had some fatalities, not with the cow, that is with the people, which is bad. But they're trying their best to curb it by getting the stray animals away from the road. You got more vendors, coconut and oranges and other fruits. Inside, almost looking like a favela. Only difference is these are some humongous homes, and this is the Duncan's area of Trelawney. And that's the road that takes you up there to Duncan's. Melia Braco Village. Down there. Rio Bueno. Vendors selling coconuts. And by the way, we do have real tiny homes as well. We have 1-bedroom dwelling. There are 2-bedroom dwellings, so not everywhere are those gigantic homes. There are some tiny homes as well, but of course the gigantic ones, they tend to stand out because they are right there. Now we're leaving Trelawney and we head into St. Anne. See right there, St. Anne, parish of St. Anne. And what did St. Anne welcomes you? One of the famous areas in St. Anne is no doubt Ocho Rios and the Duns River Falls. Also in St. Anne is Bob Marley's birthplace, 9 Mile in St. Anne. So those are some of the things that St. Anne parish is famous for. St. Anne is also known as the Garden Parish. The Garden Parish. Many say it is the biggest parish in Jamaica, while others say St. Catherine is the biggest parish. So there are some debates there, but it's between St. Anne and St. Catherine. Now over here to my left, you're not able to see, but it's right here, right to my left, is the ocean. The Caribbean Sea, that is, of course. And as you know, Jamaica is relatively tiny. So you can get to the beach within, I'd say, 35 minutes the most from anywhere you are. Now, just so you know, some beaches aren't accessible to the public because the property around the beach is owned by hotels or personnel that owns a big house or something, or maybe even just a restaurant on the beach, and so you're not able to access the beach in that area. But besides that, the beach is everywhere. There it is, the ocean again. Well, it's not an ocean, it's Caribbean Sea. Now we tend to call it ocean, but it's Caribbean Sea. The beautiful, calm Caribbean Sea. Snorkeler's paradise. It's also a scuba's paradise, a scuba diver's paradise as well. Now between Ocho Rios in St. Anne, here in St. Anne, and Montego Bay in St. James, where I just came from, they make up the bulk of the tourist area in Jamaica. When I say the bulk, I'm talking about upwards of 80% of tourists that has ever visited Jamaica that are non-Jamaicans either visit Montego Bay or Ocho Rios. Now, another place that is becoming quite popular is way out there in the east in Portland. They have the Blue Lagoon in Portland, among other areas. And so Portland is becoming another popular tourist area in Jamaica. Kingston, of course, they get a lot of tourists, but not as much as, like I say, Montego Bay or Ocho Rios. Because most people that goes to Kingston that are tourists either go there for the Bob Marley Museum or to go down to Trenchtown, where Bob Marley spent most of his or some of his days as a musician. We're out in Discovery Bay in St. Ann now. Or just to look around the city of Kingston. But all the touristy stuff, the beaches, the zip lining, they are either in Ocho Rios or, like I say, Montego Bay. All right, so I'm gonna shut up and just show you what's going on. Oh, by the way, this is a backside shipment point, and you can see a ship right there as well, collecting bauxite. And it's just the ore that they collect, the red dirt. The ore is like rare earth that they use to make aluminum. See, Discovery Bauxite Partners, and see all that red dirt? It's almost like clay dirt, and they're loaded in to the ships and they send it overseas, where it gets processed and turned into aluminum. So yes, we're in Discovery Bay, St. Ann. And like I was telling you, you can see now some smaller homes as well. And like I said, not every home here in Jamaica is just humongous. Beautiful turquoise water. Oh, I was supposed to shut up, right? Yeah, that's right. I was supposed to be quiet and let you enjoy the view. Port of Seca Beach. Town of Discovery Bay. Stowe Bay in Senton. Quite a few hotels in this area. Resorts. Most of them are all-inclusive resorts. This one is Bahia Prince. Massive hotel. I think they got about 1,000 rooms, if I'm not mistaken. FDR Resort.